Government says nightly curfew continues with allowance to restaurants to resume dine-in service. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Monday, January 4th, 2021, I am Rakisha St. Louis. The nightly curfew in Grenada will continue for another week. This decision was taken at Monday's cabinet meeting. The 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew is intended to limit the level of nighttime movement and social activities as the country seeks to manage the potential spread of COVID-19. Prime Minister and Minister of National Security Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mccal said he believes the country is on the right path with a significant decline in COVID-19 cases following the recent spike with the detection of a cluster. However, he noted that government must maintain the restriction on social activities to help reduce the level of active COVID-19 cases. Although the curfew remains in effect, under the new regulations, restaurants are permitted to resume dine-in services within the allowed hours of operation. Proprietors must, however, strictly adhere to the COVID-19 protocols, ensuring full compliance with the recommended physical distance and the daily log, which will facilitate prompt and efficient contact tracing should that become necessary. Restaurant owners and operators are further advised that operations must cease within a suitable time frame that will allow staff to commute home before 8 p.m. The public is also advised that the ban on all commercial flights between Grenada and the United Kingdom will remain in effect until January 11, 2021. All residents are encouraged to comply with the current regulations and are reminded to follow the recommended COVID-19 protocols, wash or sanitize hands frequently, maintain social distance, and wear a mask at all times in public spaces. Continuing the news, the government of Grenada has appointed a committee to examine all the details surrounding the passing of a 72-year-old male who became the country's first COVID-19 related death. Following Sunday's announcement of the death of the patient who had recent travel history, the Ministry of Health indicated that it will seek to ascertain all of the facts relating to the case. As such, a committee has been appointed to spearhead that investigation. It comprises of representatives from both the public and private sectors. The committee is chaired by Dr. George Mitchell and includes Dr. Emma Harry Thompson, Dr. Beverly Nelson, Dr. Sean Charles, Dr. Taisha Donnell, and Leslie Ann Sion, who is the deputy chair. The committee has been given 1 week to determine all of the facts and present a report to the cabinet. Meanwhile, both the Minister of Health and Social Security, Honorable Nicholas Steele, and the Minister responsible for Hospital Services and Community Health Services, Honorable Delma Thomas, have been in direct contact with the family of the deceased to extend sympathy on behalf of the government of Grenada. Additionally, the Ministry of Health is moving ahead with contact tracing efforts and has so far determined that 27 persons were potentially exposed to this latest case. All of these persons have already been tested, and the ministry is currently awaiting their results. As of January 3rd, 2021, the Ministry of Health has on record 6 active COVID-19 cases. A total of 129 cases have been recorded in Grenada thus far. Dia Forrester, a practicing attorney for the past 12 years, has been appointed as Grenada's Attorney General effective January 1st, 2021. Ms. Forrester, who was called to the Grenada Bar in 2008, is the country's first female Attorney General and has a wealth of experience practicing in St. Kitts and Nevis and Anguilla, where she held the position of partner in the prominent civil and commercial law firm Daniel Brantley. Forrester returned to Grenada in April 2019 to serve as the country's Solicitor General. During an interview with the GIS, Forrester stated that she believed the timing was right to serve her country.
I always consider that if I am going to return to Grenada, it would not be viable for me to return merely in private practice and settle. I have a consistent need to serve people. And I think that itself, when I came in as an SG, it gave me the opportunity to serve a cross-section of people. But of course, as an SG itself, you are serving the entire country, you're serving the government, you're serving all of the ministries and all of these different things. So that scope was very important to me to have. And I'm so thankful that I have done that itself. And I hope persons have appreciated the contributions I have made and that I will continue to make.
Being approached to hold the position of Attorney General is one that Forrester says has renewed her thrust to deliver a service to her country that will be in keeping with the law of the land.
I do so with the comfort of knowing that the law is the law, the Constitution is the Constitution. Critics will criticize, but more importantly, what is good and right and just will always prevail. I am clear in the task ahead of me, and it is not lost on me the significance of the occasion, because I do understand that I am probably indeed the first female Attorney General, so I should take a moment to thank all of the women who came before me and would have laid the foundation for me to be where I am today. And likewise, my present group of female warriors who keep me grounded and keep me conscious that I must do my best at all times. And of course, that means I must serve without fear or favor. I am thankful for the confidence bestowed in me by the Prime Minister and the Cabinet and his government. And what I can say to individuals is that my work speaks for itself.
Ms. Forrester holds a Master of Laws degree in International Banking and Finance Law from University College London, a Legal Education Certificate of Merit from the Hugh Wooden Law School, and a Bachelor of Laws degree with honours from the University of the West Indies, Curfew campus. The new Attorney General told the GIS that it is very important that she does her job well, taking into consideration the sacrifices made by family and others in getting her to the level she is at in her career to date. This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Hey, are you gonna wear your mask today? You see everywhere you go, there are rules you got to follow, so don't you say COVID-19 will delay. Take the opportunity to save your community. Don't be that guy, put a mask on your face if you're heading outside. It's your life, my life, more lives will be taken if we don't try. If you feel any symptoms, call the hotline. Stay inside until you feel fine. 6 feet away every day. Keep COVID-19 far from away. Keep Grenada safe. Be COVID-19 smart.
Welcome back. The Royal Grenada Police Force is providing better visibility for motorists through the installation of LED reflectors on large speed bumps. The solar-powered lights have already been installed on bumps in Bushaju, Woodlands, River Road, and St. David. Head of the Traffic Department, Superintendent Randy Connaught, told GIS the intention is to place the lights island-wide. He said the initiative came about through assessments carried out by the RGPF. Installation of the lights is just the beginning of moves by the force to enhance visibility.
We are working closely with the Ministry of Infrastructure to install these lights on some of the speed bumps across the island. It is our intention to look at the entire length and breadth of the state in order to ensure that there is even distribution of the lights on those critical bumps that are larger than the normal speed bumps that we are accustomed to. Now, the feedback has been very encouraging. Most of the motorists are now seeing the speed bumps way in advance, and this would also complement an initiative to ensure that those speed bumps, warning signs, are placed way ahead of those speed bumps to give notice to the motoring public.
The Traffic Department is collaborating with the Ministry of Infrastructure Development to implement other methods to ensure safety for the populace.
From discussion with the Transport Authority, we can reasonably expect within the new year the deployment of adequate warning signs ahead of speed bumps and many of the other signs that are critical for motorists along the public roadway. So we are looking forward with great anticipation for the continued support from the Ministry of Infrastructure. They are the ones responsible for procuring those road signs, but we have done the surveys along with them, and we are moving with great anticipation, hoping that in the coming year we can have greater enhancement of our road signs along the public thoroughfare.
Finally, in the news, the Ministry of Education is the recipient of 100 tablets donated by the ANSA Mccal group of companies. The tablets will be used in the ministry's e-learning initiative, which includes the distribution of devices to students and teachers at primary and secondary schools. Minister for Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs and Information, Honorable Emmeline Pear, expressed deep appreciation to the advancement and development of the education sector and for continued support.
I want to briefly just first of all express our deepest appreciation to the ANSA Mccal Foundation for what I consider not just a gesture that is timely, but one which is very much in line with the advancement, the development as it relates to education. And I don't want to put it in line with COVID only, but I want to put it in line with the sort of transformation that we should be speaking about in terms of education and where we are going. We recognize that without the support of corporate sponsors, companies that are generous in understanding the importance of education, if we're speaking about sustainable development of our country and we don't speak education, we're in a lot of trouble. And so this contribution here will go a long way, not just in dealing with the challenge of COVID-19, but the whole transformation of the landscape of education and the future of our country. So it is with a very, very big heart of thanks that I speak this morning and to appeal to the ANSA Mccal Foundation. Do not stop.
Chief Education Officer Mrs. Angela Finney gives the assurance that the devices will be distributed to students in need and will be used to optimize their learning. Ron Antwine, representative from the ANSA Mccal group of companies, said his company is happy to contribute towards the development of the nation's future.
As the ANSA Mccal group of companies, we recognize that we all have to pull together to really make this a success. So I first want to recognize the good work by the Ministry of Education, the teachers, all the frontline workers. And we are in fact happy to make this contribution today to aid in this effect. The ANSA Mccal Foundation is in fact an arm of the ANSA Mccal group of companies. Here in Grenada we have two companies existing, that's Grenada Breweries and Sissons Paint Grenada, and we're really happy to play our part. This is just a beginning. We hope to do more. We hope that the challenge of COVID in particular will not be with us for very long. But we also recognize that it's here, and in fact, the need, in fact, is urgent.
The Ministry of Education resumes the distribution of laptops to primary school teachers on Tuesday, January 5th. Laptops have already been distributed to several teachers island-wide at the end of the term in December. That story just ended the national report for today, Monday, January 4th. Let's recap the top story. Government says nightly curfew continues with allowance to restaurants to resume dine-in service. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.